Well, howdy doody Dick and Susie. My name is Cattleya Hicks. I'm your cosmic sex ed teacher. So we're gonna zoom out today, get your origins straight, figure out where did masculine come from? Where did feminine come from? Why are we at war? There's an answer for these things. And I hope you don't think it sounds too simple, because it is real simple. And y'all are right back where we started, with Mercury acting as this grit. You can't get rid of the thoughts in your head. And all them thoughts are competing with your sense of beauty. You want what's beautiful, but you can't stop creating war. That's where we started. After we came out of this vast, opulent, intelligent darkness, Venus and Hermaphrodite spontaneously formed together because Mercury is the grit, that first painful thought of separation. Venus is the pearl, the amelioration, the make it betterer, the beauty. Now this is the foundational relationship of everything, grit and pearl. But because here, outside of our warm, safe void, we feel naked in nothingness, we don't perceive our first relationship as a good thing. It's a threat. So Mercury looks at Venus like, well, you're not better than me. And Venus is like, I was just trying to make you feel better. But the damage is done. We had separation, ouch. More separation, ouch. Awareness, the sun. The light of awareness is the sun. All that first awareness had to become aware of was how separate it had become. So just as Hermaphrodite emerged from our vast, opulent, intelligent darkness, simultaneously as Mercury and Venus, the problem and the solution, the grit and the pearl. Well, actually, the sun didn't come next. The moon came next. Because when Mercury turned to Venus and immediately charged her of a thought crime, because he was projected bad, he started judging himself because Venus was so beautiful, but he charged Venus with that crime. There we have it, our first instance of projection, separation, masculine, feminine. Oh. We are all traumatized. We ain't traumatized from Atlantis. Okay, well maybe, but even that's just that carpet of dumbness rolling out from under us, out of our control. This is the beginning. Mercury and Venus, brother and sister, judging each other in the nothingness outside of vast, opulent, intelligent darkness. So that scared Venus so bad, she jumped out of herself and became what we call the moon. And Mercury, that original instance of ego, jumps out of himself, creating the sun, awareness. And here we have it, y'all. Masculine and feminine, thought, awareness, light, beauty, sensuality, reflection. They're threats instead of friends. They're enemies instead of lovers. Now Hermes and Aphrodite are like brother and sister. They never even thought about loving one another, and thank goodness, because that ain't right. The concept of sex didn't start until there was moon and sun. Moon carried the reflection between sun, Venus, and Mercury down to Earth and started making little copies of all these relationships. It took the light of the sun and started printing forms. Another way I tell this story is with the tarot. The void is the fool. Hermaphrodite is the magician. Once Hermaphrodite split into grit and pearl, Mercury and Venus, we got the high priestess. Suddenly, something was known. A secret could be kept after what appeared like magic out of seemingly nothing, when in fact it came from everything into nothing, naked and afraid. Then Venus jumps back all affright, creates the little ghost of the moon. That's why the moon is associated with illusion and scary things. It is Venus's fear. The moon goes off and starts creating all this stuff. Sun gets jealous. It's in love with the moon and what it's creating. Thinks it's a piece of crap. It thinks because it thinks it's a piece of crap that Venus thinks it's a piece of crap, and so does the moon, and so it just goes and has sex with everybody. This lack of awareness. All these initial relationships just have sex with each other for eons, just perpetuating that initial wound over and over and over and over and over, and reproducing that grit and that pearl experience over and over and over and over and over. Now, I am one of the Abraham Hickses, and their whole thing is talking about contrast. You're all seeking contrast. But all my brothers and sisters Abraham, they are so afraid of talking about the gritty aspect of contrast. They want to spiritually bypass right to the good stuff and make y'all believe with their pretty little terms that this is going to be easy to get over. And that's why you're having a hard time believing them right now. Because this ain't easy. Y'all are inured to grit, to pain, to hardship. You're suspicious of things being gentle and easy and light. That echoes that initial suspicion of Mercury against Venus. And then you have the suspicion of the sun against the moon. The moon left the sun to just go have babies. It was like, I don't need you. I can do this all by myself. The feminine principle is naturally fertile and can multiply all by its own. That's why biological life on Earth has evolved so that the feminine needs the masculine. So that we don't have no toxic independence. We have to work on our relationships. We had all of Atlantis. We had Lemuria. We got the Pleiades. There are so many places to be in the universe. And all of y'all are here. And that's because you want to be. You want to be here. I want to be here. I'm a little bitch for complaining last week. I'm just going to say it. All this self-pity, y'all, it's got to go. You could be in the vast, opulent, intelligent darkness. You could be there. You could have it all there. But you ain't there. You're here because you want stuff here. And it ain't just contrast. And it ain't just the nice side of contrast either. It ain't just the best lay of your life that you want. You also want everything leading up to it. You want your whole story and the story of all your ancestors. That's what you're after here, y'all. The story of Earth. The most successful materialized venture in the entire cosmos. I don't care that y'all got superclusters out there with 3,000 galaxies and you're thinking everybody else has it better than you, or hopefully they got it better than you, right? What if you're the best there is? It is hard right now, but if we can just go back to the start and fix this one little relationship between our very first mirrors. Lose the ego of right now, okay? You are all little sea turtles encrusted in barnacles. You're covered in the stuff of people you've never even known. All your ancestors' crap, all their karma. You inherited that. And now you just need some help getting the barnacles and soda cans and bits of plastic off of you. Get rid of all the stories, all the junk. come back to something simpler. The general archetype of feminine, Venus and the moon. The general archetype of masculine, Mercury and the sun. Now there's a reason I left out Mars here. It's on the other side of all this. Mars is the grit realized into war. The opposite of a pearl. But men and women alike have their war, y'all. Mars don't belong to no gender. I hope I clarified some things today, or at least gave you a nice little story to tell yourselves. Something to cut through all the crap. Because we do not want to see this place reduced to another Planet of the Apes. How many of them y'all got going? Please stop imagining that. I do love you so much. It's why I'm here. There are souls on this planet that I would die over and over and over again for. Now, I barely know what death really is. Death ain't something you ever actually experience as an entity in the cosmos. If you only know material form, then you're scared of it, and pain is bad. I mean, I'm scared of that part. I don't want to feel no pain. But you don't die. Coming into material form is just another way of keeping things moving. Because of material form, things can happen. So I love you. I wish you peace. May the force be so gentle with y'all, but not so gentle that nothing ever happens.